Okay, more pandas functions. Okay, there are a lot more pandas functions. Okay, but there are a couple of more, 2 or 3 more that are very useful, and that's one is called is null and not null, and these are useful to find whether a column has missing values. So when you're getting data ready for data analysis, you want to know whether there are any missing values in the column. If there are missing values in the column, then we have to deal with it. We have to take some action about it. Okay. So here we create S7. Okay. So here there are a couple of values that are missing. Okay. None. Okay. So if you run this is null function, so that's going to convert each value into true or false. If it is null, it will be true because we are checking whether it is null or not. If it is null, then it will be true. If it is not null, then it will be false. And remember, the numerical equivalent of false is 0, numerical equivalent of true is 1. So if you sum this is null, okay, so you take S7 is null and sum, and if you get 0, that means there are no missing values at all, which is good. But if it is not 0, then there is a missing value, and then we have to do something about it. Okay, either ignore it or you impute. Okay, we will talk about those a little later. Okay, so now of course you're going to get back 2 because there are 2 missing values. So S4 dot is null, and then you sum, you get back 2. And of course if you check not null, then that's the opposite of is null. So all the non-nulls will be true, nulls will be false. So you'll get 5 as the answer. Okay. So now we have is in is going to be the value itself. Okay, so now we have a list, so it's going to see whether each value, it will take the first value and then see whether it is in this list. Is A in this list? B comma C? It's not. So you get false. The next item is C. Is C in this list? Yes. So you get true. The next item is C again. So you get true. And the next one is none. None is not in the list. So you get false, and so on. Okay. And then how many there are, because once you got that, so how many in the series have one of these elements? So you can do a sum of that. So there are 3 elements that satisfy this list. Okay. Once again, these are very useful to understand what is in the data. You given column and you want to find out what kind of information there is, these are the functions that are useful. Okay. Now unique values and value count. So this is like the set. See, to prepare a frequency distribution of a list in base Python, so what did we do? We created a set. The set gave you the unique values. And then we did a list comprehension by taking each value in the set and counting how many there are in the original list. All of that can be easily done in pandas using these functions. Okay. N unique will give you how many unique values there are. So in S7 there are 3 unique values. Okay. That is N unique. Now if you simply say unique, that will give you what those unique values are. It's like the set. If you do a set in a list, it'll give you what those unique values are. So that's what you get that as an array. That is unique. So you have n unique, and then so n unique is how many there are. Unique is what they are, what those unique values are, and value counts will give you the distribution. Okay. All of that list comprehension with set and everything, all of that is done with just this function. So PD, because it comes from pandas, dot value counts. Now you specify that I want to go through the values of S7. So and then if you sort, then it's going to sort by the frequency. Okay, the largest frequency first and so on. So you don't have to, suppose if you don't specify that, then, well, in this case, you get the same thing. But it won't be sorted by the value counts. Okay. So it returns a series. So what you get back is a series. The unique values are used as the index. Okay. It's a series. So a series will have index. Right. The unique values are in the index. So you have C, A, and B. Okay. And the frequency counts are the values. And the result is sorted by frequency. Okay. Set sort equal to false if you don't want it sorted. Okay. So here, this is another way of doing the same thing. So if you start with S7 dot value counts, since S7 is a pandas series, the value you will look into pandas functions and it will find value counts. So pandas value counts is what is used. So this and this are the same. It's same function. Okay. Here the sort equal to false is here also it's working. It's the same thing. You get the same answer back. Okay. Now value counts returns a series with unique values as index, and it's the same thing. I don't know why I have it twice. Now S8, so now I have saved it in S8. So earlier I did not save it in S8. Now S8 has the frequency distribution. And then S8 index will give you the unique values. S8 values will give you the frequencies. Okay. Then you can iterate over the indexes and print out the frequency distribution like what we had done previously. Okay, so let's do your turn now. So question number 10. Okay. So create a pandas series with this. So we want this list, okay, let's call it series Q10, SQ10. So we have this list, and this list must be converted into a pandas series. So we need to use, okay, we need to put that into pd.series function, and that will create our series, right? So that's our A. Okay. Now, note here that none is converted into NaN. Okay. NaN is the what they call sentinel, or the object that represents missing value. So none is represented as NaN. So you have NaN there. Okay, now what we have is a series, and you see since we did not specify explicit index, the implicit index is used 0 through 11. Okay? Now how many missing values are there? So that's our B. Okay, how do you count number of missing values? So we take SQ10, right? So then what should we do? So we have to apply the function is null. Okay, so dot is null. Okay. If you do that, then each value will be converted into true or false, right? If it is a valid number, it will be false. If it is a missing number, if it is a null value, then it will be true. Okay. So that's what it is going to be like. But we want to know how many there are. Okay. Now, of course, there are only 12, so it's okay. Just imagine if this column has 1 million values and you want to know how many are missing. You're not going to print this and start counting how many truths are there, isn't it? So you have to then do what? Sum. And that will give you how many null values are there. Right? Okay. So then prepare a frequency distribution of the unique values. Okay. All right. So C so to come up with our frequency distribution, so we do value counts. Value counts will give you, so SQ10, so that's our series. Okay. So we want to apply value counts to that series. So dot val and press the tab key and you get value counts. Okay. So that gives you the unique values and the counts. Okay. But we want to print this, so we can say print now we can do a heading before that print, which can be something like value frequency. Okay. Now we can iterate over this and make the printout even better. Okay, so we'll look at that next. Any questions here? Are you able to produce this frequency table?